Alright guys, it has been a while, just a little while. My drums are stored right there, and I have a practice studio really close to my house, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to make videos again. I just do not know how that's gonna happen because I'm really out of time. So I will try to post videos when I can. We're going to do this video of the snare, of the Ludwig snare, which, oh, hold on. I have to hurry up. Here is my awesome snare. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I hope that I can actually demo it soon. So to be fair, I do not actually know what I did in this video. Remember I did this snare early last year, I think. Must have been like February, somewhere like that. Alright, so I forgot to say this on the video when I initially recorded this piece, but the idea was to have a snare which is very versatile, and also that I could play Pink Floyd stuff with without sounding it too much off. I often see tributes and people playing Pink Floyd with drum stuff that it absolutely does not fit the musical tone and sound that Nick Mason used back then, or that it's using currently. So there is no relationship to that, and I wanted to have something versatile for my own stuff and have something that I could use for Pink Floyd projects. Of course, budget was also an issue. I really wanted a Supraphonic, of course, because that's the snare that Nick Mason had been using pretty much his entire Ludwig career until I believe The Wall. I think The Wall was maybe the first album which he did not use a Supraphonic anymore. Don't judge me on that one, I'm not an expert, but on the replacement for the Supraphonic that I was looking for, and I definitely wanted Ludwig for the first time because I love Ludwig, I found that the Acrolite was actually a fairly good match. The Acrolite shell, it's really cheap to get secondhand in the US, and so I think I spent like $100 on that. And then the rest of the money went just to the parts of the snare. I believe I spent about 300 euros, 350 euros maximum. I did not spend anything more than that. If you want a Nick Mason sound, I highly recommend you to go for an aluminium snare shell if you don't have the possibility to buy an equivalent of the Supraphonic, which is a lot more expensive. And I have shot the B-roll as the idea of making a tutorial of how to build your own snare kind of thing. But honestly, it has been like so long that I don't even know what I actually have been shooting. So I have to like rewatch everything again, and with that idea, while I actually watch it, I'm just going to explain what I did, I guess. So this snare, I bought it on eBay, and I have been looking for it for a really long while, and I wanted to get a really good deal on an Acrolite or a Supralite, I believe. Snare, just a shell, and then buy the parts and, you know, build it myself, because I love building drums. And honestly, that's the thing that I really want to do in this channel, is that I want to make more builds, more do-it-yourself stuff, more restoration, and I want to do a lot of Floyd content. So I have used a reversed dot Remo batter head, and the resonant one is an Evans UV1, I believe. No, it must be something else. Let's see what it was. I don't even know anymore. Just for sake of how much disconnected I have been in music, I don't even remember what batter drum heads I have on my drum kit. No judgment, please. It had only like some label or something that came off and that was still there. I think I should check my snare. I don't know if I actually removed that or not. I don't even remember that, but we're gonna check in a second. So the most important thing is when you're cleaning your shell is that you have a cloth that you are sure it's not going to scratch the surface, and that the product that you're using is the correct one as well. If you're using a steel shell, then use steel polish. If you're using an aluminium shell, then use aluminium polish or cleaner, depending the result that you are looking for. If you want that it actually becomes like a shining aluminium shell, then also be careful to not choose the wrong paste. So what I have done is I bought the lugs and the snare system of the more expensive Ludwig, how's it called, models, snare models. So I have here the Supraphonic, sorry, Supraphonic lugs, which I really love how they look like in a snare. And as well as the, I think it was P55 or something like that. I will look it up and I'll put it on the link. And then for the sleeve washers, just, you know, what they had available, and I added some, like for example the plastic rods and such things, so it helps on keeping the snare in tune. Of course you have to have quality parts if you want your snare to keep in tune. And I also have pure sound snares, and I also bought 3S hoops, which are a little bit thicker than the regular ones. Turns out I have a lot of stuff, and then it's just a matter of assembling it. I mean, that difficult is not really. I could have done this when I was maybe 12, you know. Anyone can do this. Can do this. It's really straightforward and really simple, installing everything just and that's it. You don't really need much manuals and stuff like that. The only thing is that on my snare I still have to modify something. I still have to buy the end of the snare of a different type of the original Acrolite, because the distance between the holes is different and I do not have a drill. So without having a drill, then my other option is either find someone with a drill or buy the correct one. And honestly, I don't want that this shell gets like damaged or something, that it will look like improper or something like that. I don't really have the energy for that, so I'm just gonna order like just a replacement part. And right now I'm not really needing my right now I'm not really needing my snare anyway, so I don't really lose anything. It works, it just doesn't get as tight as I would like it to be, so it's sort of like, it's good for a couple of things. I recorded comfortably numb with the snare, so it works, you know. It will be cool if it will have a proper snare bed, the butt end of it also completely functioning.
That's right.
Another information is also that I gave away my drum shells. I completely gave them away. I thought I was not gonna have enough space here. Turns out I have, but in any ways I was sort of like pretty done by the time, and I thought I was never gonna drum again anyways. But probably I will buy some new shells and do something else, and instead of doing something completely from the scratch with lugs from the scratch and everything, probably just gonna buy lugs, or I don't know, probably actually just buy them, because it's the easiest and you can get the best quality out of it if you, for example, buy some Tamla lugs or Sonor lugs and stuff like that. The problem with that, yeah, so I also don't have to deal with inconsistencies and like unfinished projects and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna get into that on this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you next time.